Yo, yo, yo. Saturday, baby. Saturday, chat. We did it. It's the weekend. It's officially the weekend. Well, most people's weekend anyways. What's up, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Good day. Good evening. Good afternoon. I don't know, whatever time it is for you. What do we got? Day 34? Is that where we're at? I think that's where we're at. Why did I do that? I didn't mean to do that as a fact click. Yeah, day 34. Breath of the Wild, baby. We're close. We're close to the end. We have a side quest. One more side quest to do today, and then we're starting the Champions Ballad Trial. And we'll see if we can get that done before we just go ahead and finish the game up. I think probably the play is that we're going to wait for the Master Sword Trial. Try to do that maybe a few days before Tears of the Kingdom drops. Probably going to be the play. We need to move on and get into the forest. We'll probably start the forest on either Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. That way we can get some good game time in before Sons of the Forest starts. Cool. So we've got this tentative schedule, exclamation point schedule if you haven't seen it. And that's kind of what we're going by loosely. It'll change a lot as we move forward throughout the year with games that release that we're interested in playing, things like that. We'll slide stuff in and move things around, but it's there. It's there for everybody to take a look at. Shout out to all of the community that helped to create that and have input on us making the schedule. And yeah, man, so we'll do the news as we do, and then we'll get into day 34 of kind of trying to finish up Breath of the Wild. Cool. Hope everybody's having a great day and a great start to your weekend. Let's do what we do. Let's get in here and dive into what's new in the video gaming industry. Cool. Let's find out what's up with the news. First of all, we're listening to Crypt of the Necrodancer soundtrack this morning. This is the OST for the game Crypt of the Necrodancer. It is an RPG adventure rhythm-based game. Very cool. Got a very extensive, very fun soundtrack. If you're enjoying the music you're listening to this morning, I highly recommend you go and check it out. Okay. Go ahead and cut it. Let's get into the news, baby. Let's go. Java. That's why a bunch of games, including Starfield, just changed release dates? What? That might not be worth diving into. We'll take a quick peek at it, though. It might just be kind of fluff article. High on Life Studios, previously sued for sexual harassment. Huh. We'll take a look at that, too. See what's going on. All right, see what else we can find. We all good? We all good? You guys good? You guys good? Let's go. Yo, tomorrow starts HBO's adaptation of The Last of Us, which apparently from people that have had a bit of an early look and just from what we've seen from trailers and things like that, looks pretty solid. And the first episode that drops is an hour and a half long. So it's roughly the length of what is the norm in the industry for a full-length movie just for the first episode. So pretty cool. I don't know. If anybody watches, let me know what you think. You know? Give me your critique, your review. We've got that up already. I mean, best-selling games of 2022 revealed. Is this going to be a surprise to anybody? Elden Ring, Ragnarok, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Stray. What else would be on that list? Those are some of the top ones, right? Bam, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, Madden 23, unfortunately, gross EA, God of War Ragnarok, Skywalker Saga from Lego Star Wars, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, yuck. It's not a great game from what I understand. So, I guess if you can look past the bugs and stuff, it's not bad. It's just not what Pokemon games have traditionally been standard wise. You know, FIFA, another gross. Just because FIFA and EA. Pokemon Legends Arceus, yes. Horizon Forbidden West and MLB The Show. Not surprised, but there you go. Pathfinder publisher Paizo announces. Now, this is an Owlcat game, but now are they talking about Pathfinder publisher Paizo announces new open gaming license in wake of Wizards of the Coast controversy? Okay. Yeah. Cool. Let's take a look. A lot of controversy going on right now in regards to the what was supposed to have already released, open, updated, and new open gaming license for Dungeons and Dragons out of Wizards of the Coast under Hasbro, right? And it was going to change a lot of things, which mostly was coming down to what appeared to be greed um, on the part of Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. It has not been released now because of the large amount of criticism they've incurred due to that. But I think that now that people have seen Wizard of the Coast kind of take that mask off and show this nightmare underneath of what is trying to be released, people are companies, creators, and developers are like, oh, let's just probably try to find some way to get out from underneath this world of Dungeons and Dragons now, unfortunately. But we'll keep track moving forward. This is going to be something new for us, though. Ooh, PS5 reportedly locking major feature behind PS Plus. Yo, you can get Gigabyte's 4090 GPU for only a little bit over $1,700. Ouch, dude. That hurts. That's a big old chunk of change right there. Look, at the beginning of 2021, so coming up on 2 years ago now, I built the PC. You can see the main stats of it right there in chat. It's still a solid PC. I build my PCs to last, but I mean, we're talking. I probably spent somewhere ballpark there, give or take, about that much building this PC that I am running now. And that was at the time of really, really hard to find parts, things like that, where prices were being increased a little bit. Not too bad from retailers and stuff. And that's where I got all my stuff. I didn't go through any kind of scalpers or third party retailers or anything, but or scalpers or like bad like private sellers, I guess, not third party, but private sellers, anything like that. I got all my stuff at retail, but prices were still up back then. But I mean, you're talking about spending $1,700 on a single piece of hardware over, you could take that amount of money and build a really, really solid PC, complete PC for that much money. I mean, to each their own, man, but that's kind of wild to me. Popular N64 game reportedly finally being re-released. Popular Steam game free before it disappears forever? No. Google adds Bluetooth support to Stadia controllers as the cloud service enters its final week. We're like 4 days away. We've been in the final week. But yeah, that's interesting. Okay. I'm surprised they didn't have Bluetooth support already. Talked about this yesterday. Just about every single major corporation that has something to lose by having an increased amount of competition come about with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard is voicing their concerns. So, I mean, are we surprised at that notion? No. But how much of this is truly, this can't happen because of how overly, just absurdly anti-competitive it would make the gaming industry in favor of Microsoft Activision, and how much of it is just these other companies being scared about losing position of where they're at now and not wanting to have to find ways to compete, which is actually being a bit anti-competitive themselves. I mean, you have to look at it both ways. Microsoft found a way to compete. If you look at it that way, Microsoft found a way to be a better competitor in the industry, which is spending an absurd amount of money, which many countries don't even see in even close to. We're talking 69, roughly 68, 69 billion dollars. Many countries in the world don't even see close to that amount of money on a yearly basis. It's absurd. But you can't knock Microsoft and Xbox for finding a way to continue to be very competitive in the industry. So they're finding avenues to continue to compete while everybody else goes, oh, they're being anti-competitive. So how does that not make them anti-competitive by saying that, oh, shame on Microsoft for, reaching out and really doing everything they can for finding ways to be more competitive in the market. Like, that's a weird kind of dynamic there to me. It's odd. I'm not saying it's not anti-competitive, but it does come off as anti-competitive on the side of these companies that keep voicing concerns over it as well, Especially in regards to the companies like Sony, who have always sat on top of PlayStation, who has always sat on top of Xbox, But there are a lot of different areas of pros and cons about this potential acquisition. So I'm just trying to get people to see this from different points of view here. We talked about it in depth yesterday. Take a look at yesterday's news segment. That would be July. Whew, man, I'm either skipping way ahead or diving back in time. January 13th edition of Video Gaming News. We dive into it pretty heavy. Here on Twitch, it's a highlight, or on our YouTube page, it's a VOD. Okay. Is this Blue Protocol? Is this what they're talking about? That's what it looks like. Okay, they're going across a bunch of different stuff there. I'm not going to dive into that right now. Gamers warn against buying Uno for Switch. Interesting. I wonder what that's about. I talk about this almost every day, but the article came up, so take a look. If you're not aware right now, Divine Knockout, First Class Trouble, and Game Deck Definitive Edition are free on Epic right now. Okay, so in my opinion, there's no reason why you shouldn't be going and grabbing free titles. These are not normally free to play games, from what I know. Divine Knockout was free when it released on PlayStation. I don't know if it is going to maintain. It came out initially in December. It was free when it first released on PlayStation. I think it's just coming over to Epic. I don't know if it's going to maintain a free to play status moving forward or not, but I mean, just in case, maybe grab it. These two definitely are not like normally free to play titles. That's what most of what is released here on a week to week basis. These are not normally free games. Okay, like you'll see, like Fortnite's a free to play game or Rocket League's a free to play game. That's not what these normally are. So you got a week normally between these games becoming free and not being free anymore, and the new giveaways coming out. So go create an account, start grabbing your free games each week, build yourself a library. Even if you're not a PC game player, at some point in the future you might become one, and then at least you'll have a library to kind of dive into whenever you potentially take that leap into doing some PC gaming. Okay. I'm not going to dive into Diablo 3 Season 28 update news. I don't think there are a whole lot of people that really care too much about it. The big thing for Blizzard and Diablo fans is the fact that Diablo 4 is coming out in, what is it, June? June 6th, is that correct? I think so. So let me verify that. What are we talking here? Yeah, June 6th is the tentative date right now. So that's the big deal. I'm not going to dive into this, but know that Diablo 3 has the Season 28 launching here before long, okay? Oh, God. I mean, I'm not surprised, but dude, this is probably going to wreck this game on release. Hogwarts Legacy to launch with Denuvo on Steam. Oh, no, dude. GTA 6 trailer leak has fans freaking out. See what's going on there. Let's go to our other search. Talked about this a lot. We've got an article up that's going to address it in part, so I'm not going to pull that up. Iron Man game might be built on UE5. We've heard a little bit about it. I'm not going to dive into this. Again, this is also tagged as a rumor, so that's one of the reasons I'm not going to put a whole lot of. It doesn't entice me really to jump in here. We've heard about the Iron Man game being in development potentially here, and it would make sense to be in UE5. Unreal Engine 5 looks amazing. It's supposed to be very, very intuitive for developers. And once we get some real substantial, at least official kind of news out of that studio or out of what's happening with this title, we'll jump into it. But rumor mill stuff, man, it's just not really all that worth it to me, depending on the situation. Looks like One Piece Odyssey is available for PC at this point. We'll take a quick peek. Last of Us multiplayer will be most ambitious from Naughty Dog yet, it looks like. Okay. Oh, here we go. Look, man. Our mod and buddy and fellow streamer, Busy King, was talking about this yesterday. Alien TV show is in production, pre-production. Interesting. I'm not going to dive into this, but I hope it's good. I like Alien. So we'll see. It's not video gaming stuff, so not important for us in this segment anyways. But cool nonetheless, man, if you're a fan of Alien. Oof. Oof. Another high-profile PC game calls for 32 gigs of RAM, people. All right, Hogwarts Legacy. How much RAM do you guys have if you're playing it on PC? uh, I've talked about this a little bit over about the past half year. Video games are becoming more and more reliant on. We're hitting a time where there's a bit of a transition here, and for high end games requiring a significant more amount of RAM, and we're hitting it. Is it going to be the minimum required amount? No, but you're probably going to end up incurring a much rougher experience in what the game presents, in smoothness of gameplay, things like that, if you are running less than 32 gigs of RAM. But we'll take a look at it, okay? We'll talk about it. We talked about that yesterday. Last page. Talked about this already as well. Cloud gaming reportedly coming to PS5. Yep. We'll see. We'll dive into that more when we get something official, but we've talked about that already. I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh every time I see Skull and Bones now. Dude, they had. I mean, Ubisoft is in trouble. we've talked about this the past couple of days. Ubisoft's in trouble, which isn't funny and is actually scary for everybody that works at that company. Hopefully they'll be bought out by a good company that'll take care of them and everything, and get that company back into a decent shape. But Ubisoft has been struggling for a number of years now. They've still got a great portfolio. They've got a good number of titles and IPs, good number of IPs. And I think that they're probably going to end up being bought out more than likely by a company like potentially Tencent or Embracer, something like that. And here's the thing. I haven't talked about this previously. We've been talking about the potential for them to be bought out. Blizz going to buy out Ubisoft. Capu. There's some issues with the fact that Ubisoft, Psych, what's up, buddy? How are you, dude? Happy Saturday, dude. There's some issues with the fact also that Ubisoft is a France-based company, which makes there are a few obstacles, if I understand correctly, if I remember correctly, from some of the things I read in the past. There are some obstacles from maybe some other companies coming in to buy them out or invest there, depending on what company is trying to do that and where that company's out of. If a company is trying to buy them out of the EU, it could be a bit smoother, like Embracer. A company like Tencent has already invested an amount in Ubisoft, which makes that also a smoother transition. But somebody coming out of a country like the US has some significant obstacles, I think. Doing good, slept too much. So, dude, night before last, I slept like 3 hours. I just kept tossing and turning all night. I don't know. But last night I slept much better, dude. So we'll see what happens. But it's, the Skull and Bones thing is like, I don't think that game's ever going to release. I've said this before. The last time, whenever they did the showcase in the third quarter of last year, what was it, August or September, they did a showcase, I think. Gabs, what's up? They did a showcase just for Skull and Bones. It was a huge event, huge showcase. Hello, aliens. And then they delayed it again because they were anticipating the release, and then they delayed it. And now they delayed it again. And I said when they delayed it after that big showcase, I was like, I don't think this game is ever going to release. Because at that time, that was about the 4th or 5th delay. Now we're at 6 or 7, something like that. I don't think it's going to release. And even if it does, I would highly recommend staying away from this game until it has had a good amount of time to be out and released and in the wild to see what the game is looking and feeling like before you try to dive into it. I would highly recommend staying away from it. Oh yeah, another delay, dude. It got delayed again. Yep, Ubisoft is in big trouble right now, dude. They scrapped 5 more games. Skull and Bones has been delayed. They're what they say, they lost about... They just reported about a $500 million loss over the past year. Because we're coming up on the end of the fiscal year for the gaming right now. So fiscal year, right, for the gaming industry runs from April 1st of one year through March 31st of the next year, right? So we're talking about March 31st of this year is going to be the end of the fiscal year for gaming industry. And so Ubi's starting to report some numbers, and they're talking over $500 million worth of loss on projects that didn't come to fruition, research and development, things like that. It's pretty rough, dude. Lots of scrapped games, which big development studios are always scrapping games, right? So I don't know how much stock you can put into that. They're always there's always a lot of projects in various stages of development. So, not having any significant details or specific details, I guess, about what those projects were and at what stage of development they were in before they got scrapped, it's hard to really say how big of a deal that is for Ubi. But we've gotten a lot of details about them not being in a good state. They're probably going to get bought out. And Gabs, what's up? Dude, happy Saturday, guys. Xbox leaks own presentation details. This is happening on the 25th, guys. We got roughly 11 days. It's going to be a Wednesday. We're going to watch it here. It's going to happen at 2 o'clock p.m. or 1400 hours stream time or my time. You know what I'm saying? So we'll do the news. We'll get a full day of gaming in, and then we'll finish up the day with the Xbox/Bethesda showcase. Apparently, they are not showing us anything from Starfield in that showcase, though. What we're hearing is that they're going to do a standalone showcase for Starfield at some point after this. But what we've already seen and we saw yesterday is that they are probably going to announce the family and friends plan for Xbox subscription service, their Game Pass stuff, right? So we'll see what else they're going to show here. Oh, yo, Skull the Hero Slayer is getting a free expansion. That's sick. Sorry about the schoolwork issues, Gabs. All right, let's jump in it. Here we go, baby. Yo, we got a couple of Hogwarts Legacy things, so let's just hit these right off the bat, okay? God, I was really hoping this wasn't going to be the case, but here we go, man. Uh, Denuvo to the rescue. God dang it, dude. I'm so scared now. All right. Here, before I even read this, understand this. Denuvo DRM absolutely wrecks games on release. So it is going to affect this game almost without a doubt. I'm about 95% sure, right? Um, I am still going to play this on release for you guys. I will play it. I think if you get the digital deluxe edition, you get it 3 days early. So part of what too late to get a refund, you think? No, I don't think so. I think you can probably refund. I don't know. I mean, I know you're lolling right there, but dude, that's actually a legitimate question. Denuvo wrecks games on release. You know what I mean? And this is what I've been telling everybody. I'm actually scared of this game. What I've seen about the game looks amazing, and I'm excited to play it. Part of what I feel like my job is especially for this community, the games that you guys are really, really psyched about seeing on release, I want to play for you. That's part of my job, is to show you what a game's going to look and feel like. So I'm still going to play it. I'm still going to play it. And my thing is, I'm probably going to play the version of it that I can get into a few days early. That way, I can give you guys a really good look at how good the game is potentially going to run. Now, I'm going to be playing it on PC, so that's going to be a bit different probably than people that played on console and stuff. Unfortunately, but that usually tends to be the case. I hope not. Hopefully, every single platform this releases on, it'll be optimized for that platform. But it doesn't always work that way. Just to be very realistic about things, okay? Outside of that, I will play this game, and I will stream it for everybody. It's on the schedule. There's no way I won't do that. But My big reason, I mean, honestly, if I wasn't streaming, I probably wouldn't play this on release. And my big reason is that I know there are a lot of people. My big reason for playing it on release, there are a lot of people that are excited about this. There are a lot of people in our community that are excited about this that want to play it on release. And I would rather give you a look and a feel, a taste of what the game has to offer before you decide whether you want to dive into it. Okay? So, on that note, De Novo is being added in. What's wrong with the game, Gabs? Nothing necessarily right now. But De Novo DRM is software that gets added into games on release. It's an anti-piracy software, and it almost always makes games perform very, very badly. It is, it's really, it feels really stupid. Pirates always find out a way to get around it. It always makes games feel very bad. It makes them perform terribly for the people that actually buy the game. And then, I don't know, probably about a week after it releases, they'll go, okay, we're removing De Novo. It's really stupid. I don't know, man. So let's read this. The Steam release of Hogwarts Legacy will include controversial anti-piracy software De Novo. De Novo is a digital rights management solution with its anti-tamper software encrypting game files and requiring occasional online verification. While this means players must remain online at all times, it makes the games harder to pirate or crack, but not impossible, and pirates will still figure it out. However, it's been reported that De Novo causes performance issues. Reported? It's actually been proven to almost always cause performance issues with every game it releases on, with a host of games removing the software in post-launch updates. Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. The list goes on and on and on. The likes of Monster Hunter World, Mass Effect Legacy also removed it shortly after launch. Recent update to Hogwarts Legacy Steam page confirmed that it would be selling a version of the game with De Novo. A PC version of Hogwarts Legacy will also be available via Epic Game Store, and the listing doesn't currently mention De Novo. But that doesn't mean that can't change before launch. The controversial Harry Potter game is set to launch February 10th for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. A PS4 and Xbox One version will follow on April 4th, while a Switch player or Switch players will have to wait until July 25th. Earlier this week, it was confirmed that Simon Pegg, this is awesome. Simon Pegg will voice Hogwarts head teacher Phineas. I forgot how you pronounce that. Nigellus Black, I think, right? Phineas Nigellus Black, a character he describes as a self-interested fool. Elsewhere, Heartstopper star Sebastian Croft and Amelia Gething will provide the voices for Hogwarts Legacy to playable avatars. It's awesome that Simon Pegg is a voice actor in this game. That's great. Since the game was announced, Warner Brothers and Portkey Games have done their best to distance Hogwarts Legacy from divisive Harry Potter creator J.K. Rowling after a string of anti-trans rants. Lead actors Harry Potter, Rupert Grint, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson were amongst those that condemned her views, with Grint saying trans women are women, trans men are men. According to the facts, Hogwarts Legacy has not been written by Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, though it does say stay true to her original vision. Okay. So that's the gist of that one, dude. DRM being added in on Steam. If it's being added on Steam, I would imagine that Epic's taking a hard look at adding it in too. So we'll see what happens. That might change my opinion on where I grab that game from, though. I haven't purchased it yet. I was kind of waiting around to see if something like this would happen, and here we are. So if we get closer to release and Epic hasn't shown DRM as being part of the release, I'll probably grab it on Epic, to be honest. I don't want to deal with DRM. Another, it's just only because of the issues it causes with game releases, dude. I hate it. Another high-profile PC game calls for 32 gigs of RAM. Here's another thing. Yeah. You probably need to upgrade your gaming PC's RAM soon. Developer WB Games Avalanche released the PC system requirements for the upcoming Hogwarts Legacy on Friday. It's the second game we've seen releasing in 2023 that calls for 32 gigs of RAM, people. Look, man, I've been telling people this. Get ready, okay? Get ready. The 32 gigs requirement is going to become more and more prominent for high profile game releases, like especially big AAA games, things like that. 32 gigs is going to be a big deal moving forward. So if you're currently sitting at less than that and you have room to upgrade, I would highly recommend taking a look at doing that, okay? To the extent of potentially even just taking a look at not filling up all of your RAM slots and just getting to 32 gigs of RAM, but potentially just doing away with the RAM you have now, getting yourself at 32 gigs of RAM in 2 of your RAM slots if you have 4, and setting yourself up for future expansion to 64 gigs of RAM for the future, or something to that extent, because we're hitting an entirely new kind of point in the evolution of gaming here, where the RAM requirement has jumped, right? The PC port of Returnal was the first high-profile release we saw calling for 32 gigs of RAM, and Hogwarts Legacy is a sign that this could become the norm for PC releases. Now, this is what they're saying you should have. Is it what you're going to have? No. But if you don't have 32 gigs of RAM, you're potentially going to see some significant, probably stuttering, reduced frame rates, things like that. The traditional wisdom has been that 16 gigs is the only RAM you need for gaming, but that's changing. This has been in the works for a while, though. I've talked about this. You don't need that much to run the game, however. Like Returnal, the minimum specs for Hogwarts Legacy calls for 16 gigs of RAM. That's still a hefty requirement in light of other specs, though. The minimum requirements list an Intel Core i5-6600 and NVIDIA GTX 960. That's for playing the game at 720p with 30 frames per second limit, as well as the low-quality graphics preset. The specs call for 32 gigs of RAM if you want to play at 1440p or 4K. In order to play at the ultra-quality preset at 4K, the developer says you need an Intel Core i7-10700K paired with either an NVIDIA RTX 3090 Ti or an AMD RX 7900 XT. That means you'll need one of the most powerful PCs money can buy to see the game in its full glory. Honestly, though, RAM's a bit cheaper than like a GPU is. So if you're going to need to upgrade anything, upgrading RAM is going to be usually a bit of an easier hit to the old wallet than a GPU upgrade would be, or a processor for that matter. Similar releases aren't nearly as demanding. The Callisto Protocol, which released in December, only calls for 16 gigs of RAM, can run with 8 gigs. Similarly, the upcoming Atomic Heart calls for 8 gigs of RAM at minimum with the same recommended amount. Atomic Heart's also been in development for like 8 years. So, I'm not surprised that the requirement for RAM on that is a bit lower. It's been delayed a number of times. It's probably, not quite as intense as maybe Hogwarts Legacy is. I don't know. We'll have to see. But Callisto Protocol was supposed to be very, very visually striking, and but it had issues.
Emotional damage.
What's up, classic car lover? What you doing? Um, Happy Saturday. So I don't know. Callisto Protocol had some of its own performance issues on release. Maybe if they had, worked with some better RAM integration, it might not have. I don't know. Does your gaming PC need 32 gigs of RAM now? Between Returnal and Hogwarts Legacy, it might be time to upgrade your RAM. In PC games, your RAM stores short-term data for your CPU, and the demand for more space goes up in the games that involve large open worlds and player choice. That's why we've seen increased performance with processors like AMD's Ryzen 7 5800 X3D, which include extra memory on the processor to improve performance in games like Far Cry 6. Is it cold this morning, dude? Is it cold this morning? What's the temperature, dude? It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly here. It's like low 20s, feels like high teens here, Fahrenheit. What are you dealing with, dude? Uh the developer confirmed that Hogwarts Legacy will be verified for the Steam Deck at launch and that handheld only includes 16 gigs of memory. That suggests the game will run fine without 32 gigs. Confirms that you don't need to upgrade to expensive DDR5 memory in order to play. Um, yeah, you'll probably be fine with 16 gigs. Yeah, a lot of it depends on your entire hardware configuration, though. You're definitely going to have a better time with 32 gigs than 16 gigs, though, right? And I've been telling people this for a while. If you're building a new PC or you're buying a new PC for gaming specifically, you should be looking to at least hit 32 gigs right now just to be safe for future gaming. In addition to Steam Deck verification, the developer has confirmed that Hogwarts Legacy will support AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2, as well as NVIDIA's Deep Learning Super Sampling 3. If you have an RTX 4000 series GPU, you'll be able to use DLSS frame generation. Yeah. So there you go. But that's the recommended amount of RAM, and it's becoming more prominent in, especially, the AAA gaming space. Oh, is it snowing for you, Wick? Yeah. Um, I kind of saw your post this morning, Classic Car Lover, in the Discord. Look, I understand you're trying, you're passionate about music. You want to dive into the music space and you want to share that passion with people. And there are a lot of people on the platform that do that same thing. So I absolutely respect that. I think that's what's great about Twitch. People being able to share their passion, their creativeness, their artistic side with one another. That's fantastic. What I did see that you wrote in the Discord really what I would say. I didn't have time to reply. I'm sorry. It was a bit of I just saw it and was trying to get everything set up and running this morning for the stream. So, um, with what you're talking about doing with copyrighted music and everything, you're going to get your channel banned. If you're just going to sit there and play copyright music all the time, your channel will get banned. It's what tends to happen is that Twitch is getting better about muting out sections of a stream that might have a little bit of that kind of content in it, because naturally what will happen is sometimes you'll play a game and there will be copyright kinds of music or things like that in it. So they'll mute it out a little bit. But here's the deal. It is actually against the terms of service to sit there and play music that is copyright music. So Twitch has gotten better at just kind of muting out VODs, being trying to help content creators avoid bans and things like that when they're unintentionally maybe having some music on that has some copyright stuff going on. But if you're sitting there playing music from just nonstop from whatever artist, I mean, it doesn't matter who it is, that's copyright, you're going to get banned. Your channel's going to get banned. And that's just, there have been plenty of examples of this in the past. It's not. Yes, I'm sure. This is the issue. This is the issue, Syke. I'm absolutely sure. I'm absolutely sure. Here's the issue. There are issues with playing a song for a certain amount of time. If it's under a certain amount of time, if it's just a clip of a song, you're not going to get caught, or you're not going to get stamped for copyright stuff, right? There's like a loophole where it's like, oh, well, something played accidentally. You know, they give you a real slim amount of time there for a song to play and not get copyright. This is the other thing, though, Side. There is a thing such as real-time copyright strike. It doesn't have to be in a VOD, dude. Okay? So are you more likely to get caught for copyright? Twitch partners also get access to playing music. Yes. But there's a thing such as real-time copyright strikes. It doesn't have to be music that's caught in a VOD, okay? So is it as prominent and something that happens as often? Because it literally means that the holder of that license or whatever has to know that it was being played at that time. They have to be able to prove it, and they have to hit Twitch up about it and show and stuff like that. I know that. I know that. I'm telling you the way. I'm just telling you that people get banned for it all the time, and this is it. So, this is what I'll say. What your statement was, Syke, was like, you know, just because you don't have a VOD, you know, you can't, you know, can you still get banned if you don't have? Absolutely. That's what I'm getting at. Do people play music all the time? Yeah. Are they running a risk? Yes, absolutely. Okay. So if you are going, this is what I was trying to get at. Okay. If you are going to be a content creator that is going to be solely focused on just hanging out with people and playing copyright music all the time, you are running a high risk of getting your channel banned. And more bans that come, more violations of copyright strikes, it will end up resulting in a permanent ban. Okay? So I'm just trying to give some advice. Does it mean that people don't get away with it all the time? No. People absolutely get away with it, right? But people always are getting caught and getting banned at the same time. Yeah? Twitch is not fantastic about always enforcing rules the same way, always catching people every time they break the rules, things like that. We know that, yeah? So that's my advice. There are, you know, if you're really passionate about music, you want to share music with people, and maybe you're a musician yourself, you could take a look at doing it that way. Yeah, there's literally a section in your dashboard that counts copyright strikes, and if you hit 3, you're done. If you hit 3, you're flipping. Your channel is shut down like indefinitely, basically. And you can hit up Twitch and be like, "Hey, can you help get my channel back up?" But if you're not a very prominent personality on their platform, I'm sorry, but they're not going to care all that much, you know. And it just going and starting a new account isn't going to help you, because if somebody points you out as being the same person from that account that's banned, they're going to ban your new account too. They're pretty good about doing stuff like that. So do people get away with it? Yes. But are you absolutely treading thin ice, as it were, about getting called out? And it's not. What it is the owners of the copyright material. So people need to understand that. Twitch doesn't necessarily care, outside of the fact that it's the owners of the copyright material that basically go, this streamer is playing our content. This is ours. We own it. You need to shut them down. And then Twitch is basically like, their hands are tied, man. And they have to do it. Otherwise, Twitch gets sued, right? Because you're on their platform. So it's a weird situation. I absolutely understand where your passion lies. And I don't know either, dude. I mean, maybe it's worth looking into. This is what I do know about it. So all I can do is give you the best advice I have. I do know for a fact there have been somebody just got unbanned. I just saw somebody that got unbanned from a 2.5-year ban for playing a Beyonce song. Okay, just saw this 2 days ago. So, and that might be it, Wick. Yeah, that might be it. Well, so there are different. When you first start out on Twitch, you're like basically nothing, right? And then once you hit affiliate, that's where you get your sub button and everything. And then if you get enough, there are these different benchmarks, right? There are these different benchmarks where it's like you get enough viewers, you get enough time that you're streaming, then you get affiliate, you get your sub button, and then even more than that, there are these benchmarks that you have to hit, right? And yeah, it's basically being a big time streamer. Yeah, and you become what's called a partner on Twitch. Partners are the big streamers, and those are the ones that Twitch tries to cater to more. So they have a bit more options, as it were, and apparently music's one of them. I don't know, Classic Car Lover. I'm just trying to give you the best advice I can. I do know for a fact that playing licensed music on Twitch, do people get away with it? Yeah, but people also get banned constantly. So I don't know, Sai. Offense taken, dude. Right. You mean, yeah, I got you. Yeah, there's ways around. Again, look, I mean, I think it's something you just have to look into. I'm just giving the best information I can. Because I also don't want you to think that you can like start accounts, run that risk, get banned, and start another account just to circumvent the banning process. It won't work like that. They'll find you. Twitch is good like that. If they ban you, they'll find you. They'll keep banning you out no matter what accounts you make. So I'm just trying to give the best advice I can. I don't know all the ins and outs of playing copyrighted music. Yeah, I know, Psych. I know. And I'm just trying to help understand as well, because I don't engage in really the only music I listen to is what you guys hear that I'll turn on from like video game OSTs that I know the content creators don't mind, right? That's all I really listen to. Like I'll turn on some music for you guys occasionally, and it'll be like, some OSTs from video games that seem to be okay. Because you play video games a lot on this platform, and while their soundtracks and their OSTs, and sometimes they can be copyright, quite often they're copyright material, their owned material, but it's about the creator giving a crap whether you're playing their music or not. And when you play games, the music's in the background anyways, right? So quite often the games don't get hit for copyright infringement because of their soundtracks, right? Dude, that stuff is absolutely going to get wrecked. Classic Car Lover. Yeah. So, I mean, it's something I think you need to educate yourself on it. I've given you the best information that I have. I know where Syke's coming from. I know there are a lot of people that listen to music, and I think Wick's hitting on some of the ways around it. There's like ways to maybe speed up the music, slow down the music a little bit so it doesn't necessarily get caught, what have you. But you're absolutely going to need to not save your VODs, because if anybody from that company gets notified that you're listening to their music, even if it's not getting auto caught by like a AI listening kind of bot or something like that, but they get notified and they go look at your VODs, they're gonna point you out to Twitch. Uh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of music all the time on the platform, and we listen to music in the channel all the time. And what I try to do is like promote the music I listen to all the time. Like music from video games is amazing, and quite often the music we listen to are from like indie developers and stuff too. So, dude, I love music, and I try to promote music all the time, especially from the games we love. It's a big deal to me. I love music, man, and I mean, you can watch the streams that we do all the time, man. I'm always singing songs like clips or something, but I don't sing very long because I'm worried about getting caught, in a copyright strike or something, because you can't even sing the songs. And quite often, if somebody points you out, yeah, I mean, they can copyright strike you just for like singing the song for too long or anything like that. It's really wild, man. That's why I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer for this kind of stuff, dude. I don't know all the ins and outs of the information. That's about the best I have for you. Classic car lover. That's about you. You need to educate yourself, but I'm trying to just give you a nice warning. Okay. Uh, that's somebody's music that they own, dude. That's also somebody's music that they own, classic car lover. If it's copyright music, it's copyright music. It doesn't matter if it's music that they have published and they make royalties off of, and it's owned by a company or it's owned by them. It is copyright music, and it can get you a strike. It doesn't matter. As far as I know, that's the way that works. Again, there's like a loopholes about you can play a song for a very short amount of time, like uh, you know, uh, so from what I just try to be as safe as possible. Again, look, man, I think that if that's what you're looking to get into is the music side of things, you need to educate yourself on the rules about what is safe and not safe, and what can get you in trouble, and what is okay, and how you could go about maybe cultivating a stream around that kind of stuff. Um, I don't know. It's not my kind of content. It's not what I do. I stay as far away from trying to potentially get myself in trouble with that kind of stuff as possible, because I'm not all that educated on it. You know, um, that's about the best I can give you. I think you're gonna have to do some self education. You're gonna have to do some online searching. You're gonna have to read up. You're gonna have to figure out if you're really really interested in getting some kind of uh, you know content creation set up around music, and your love for it and things like that, and you want to actually play some of that music or whatever. You're gonna have to educate yourself. Um, I'm just trying to give you the best I know, and I appreciate everybody else trying to help too. I'm not an expert in that area. I'm really not. I'm just trying to help you be cautious. Really, is what it comes down to. You know. Moving on. GTA 6 trailer leak has fans freaking out. New GTA 6 trailer leak has Grand Theft Auto fans freaking out after confirming a new Grand Theft Auto game was in development early last year. Rockstar Games hasn't said a peep about the project. When this will change, we don't know, but until it does, Grand Theft Auto fans have plenty of rumors and leaks to sift through. The latest comes from a source with a dubious track record, though they did reveal that one of the two main characters, the female protagonist, was named Lucia before this information leaked. According to this same source, San and Play, a YouTuber with over 1 million subs, the trailer features a plane passing, a lizard crossing the street, Lucia in prison exercising, dogs playing, and a little dog rolling around on the beach. It's unclear if this is sequential, and it's also unclear if this is all describing the opening of the trailer or just a random piece of it. The details themselves may sound completely random and unlike anything you'd see in a GTA 6 reveal trailer. However, GTA 5's reveal trailer was almost exclusively random B-roll. In other words, it wouldn't be surprising if scenes of dogs playing on the beach and lizards crossing the road end up in the reveal trailer. Unfortunately, while San and Play has shared these details, they haven't shared the actual trailer, nor have they divulged how they came across these details. If this is all true, though, it means the trailer for the game is already made, and thus could be released soon, assuming it's not footage from an internal trailer meant for investors or footage from a scrapped trailer. Okay. Grain of salt with all this right now. You know? Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that it's not a definitive way forward for you, but again, that was my first thought whenever I saw your post was like, I think it's just better for you to be very careful. And it doesn't mean you can't pursue that, I don't think. I just wanted you to be careful. The best thing you can do is look, there's a lot of information out there. People have to be willing, to educate themselves to an extent. I think that's what you need to do. If that's what you're really interested in trying to dive into content-wise, you're going to need to do a little bit of research online and see what the ins and outs are of that situation on this platform. If this is the platform you're truly interested in utilizing and in that form of entertainment, you're just going to have to dive into some self-research and see what the current rules and regulations for terms of service are in regards to that stuff right now. You're going to have to be really, really educated on it, I think. We'll see moving forward about the GTA 6 stuff, dude. Basically, anything that comes out is just like blowing up, man, Set Sail in One Piece Odyssey now available for PC and console. The latest adventure of the Straw Hats is finally here. The global launch of One Piece Odyssey will have players explore the mysterious island of Wofford, embarking on an original adventure. One Piece Odyssey is available for PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam. Check out the official launch announcement below. Here you go, guys. Yo. Wait, did you put Beyonce in chat before I did? Who did? Well, that was you, all right, Wick? Were you talking about the same exact thing that I was talking about with that person that got banned for like 2.5 years? Sorry, I got real wrapped up in trying to express those sentiments there, but I think maybe, a classic car lover, if you're still hanging out and everything, I mean, there's a lot of channels out there on music platforms that, are promoted as copyright-free music. There are a lot of artists out there that are trying to get their music played, and they publish their music for themselves on different platforms. That might be a play for you. I mean, if you think about it, there are all kinds of different genres of music, and if you can find some of that copyright-free music that is not necessarily the music right? But if you're really, really into the 80s kind of music stuff, then you can find more modern artists that have copyright-free music that you can kind of listen to and share with people on your platform and maybe do some reviews of and things. That might be a pivot for you. That might be a way to start doing some content on a channel. There are ways to do music You just have to look at maybe incorporating content or copyright-free music into your content, if that makes sense. Okay, there are all kinds of channels. You're like Spotify, Pandora, stuff like that. There are like copyright-free music channels for different genres of music and stuff like that. So it's not like you can't do it. It's just specifically trying to utilize things like Def Leppard and the stuff you were talking about before is going to get into some real hot water there, you know. Leading video game publisher and developer Bandai Namco Entertainment in America today announced the worldwide launch for One Piece Odyssey, the exciting new JRPG with an original story rooted in One Piece canon and gameplay that puts players in control of their favorite characters from the Straw Hat Crew. The game is available now on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam. Also released today is a free demo available for consoles that lets players experience the first few hours of the game and transfer their progress to continue the adventure when they purchase the full version. Cool. Looks pretty solid. If you guys want to read more about it, there you go. The Last of Us multiplayer will be most ambitious Naughty Dog game. Speaking to comic book, gaming, and posted on TikTok, The Last of Us creator and Naughty Dog co-president Neil Druckmann has confirmed that the upcoming The Last of Us multiplayer project will be the most ambitious project we've ever done. He has also confirmed the project has been in the works since before even The Last of Us Part 2 shipped back in June 2020. Originally planned to be part of The Last of Us 2, the multiplayer mode will be a standalone game set in The Last of Us universe. Despite being an online game, Druckmann shared that the project will expand the world even further and continue to tell a story. Concept art for the game presents a world as apocalyptic as we'd expect from the series, with survivors exploring the ruined world and ready for a fight, from a city center to a wrecked cruise ship. This year marks the 10th anniversary of The Last of Us, with Druckmann promising new details on the multiplayer game later on in the year, as well as more on the future of the franchise. The plot and story for a third The Last of Us game is said to already be finished, but the game has not yet entered a confirmed development. In the discussion with Comic Book Gaming, Druckmann does tease that Naughty Dog has a new game in the works after The Last of Us multiplayer, but shared no other information. Okay. We've hit on this a little bit already. Yeah, okay. We'll see, dude. We'll see when it comes out. Yeah. Xbox leaks own presentation details. Here we go. Let's go. Dude, my hair is getting long. Wick, I'm growing a beard, so you're growing your hair out, right? We agreed on that, correct? What game was that for the Shake Weight Jam VOD? I think it was wasn't that Loop Hero? Was that Loop Hero for Shake Weight? I think it was Loop Hero, dude. Yeah. The game where you run around the map. So literally every game we play, dude. Oh, was it Vampire Survivors, dude? Or was it Loop Hero? The game where you run around the map. Yeah. Vampire Survivors, is that what it was? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, again, classic car lover. If you didn't hear me, there's a lot of music out there that is, copyright free. So that might be something to look into. And there are a lot of artists creating music in the same fashion or genre of, the old 80s hair, rock and stuff like that. So that might be a play, just listening to new modern artists that are doing that genre of music and that's copyright free and giving your take and reviews of it and stuff. So I don't know. That might be something you could do. Vampire Survivors, cool man. Xbox's German arm. Like, do you have like a Canadian arm and a German arm, dude? Is that how that works? Okay, it was just a thought, my friend. Yeah. Xbox's German arm accidentally revealed details about the upcoming Xbox developer presentation before quickly removing them. Xbox Germany has accidentally revealed some key details about the publisher's upcoming presentation in its announcement of the showcase before quickly changing its announcement. Microsoft announced the Xbox presentation, which is set to show off new games, earlier in the week, saying that it will contain new information about a number of titles, including Minecraft Legends and Redfall, which are said to be releasing in the next few months. Presentation is set for the end of January, but Microsoft was fairly quiet on what the showcase would contain. We do know, however, that Starfield won't be included. Yeah, we hit on that already. Yeah, Microsoft is going to host a separate showcase for it somewhere down the line. Xbox Germany seems to have gotten a little bit excited with the announcement, however. As reported by VGC, the German announcement of the presentation suggests that release dates for the titles included will be announced during the show. Shush your mouth. Developer Direct will focus on amazing features, extensive gameplay showcases, and first-time shared release dates for great Xbox titles coming out over the next few months, including The Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, and Redfall. Yeah, we hit on that, though, dude. What? Also, yeah, we kind of already hit on this. Also, the fact we're probably going to see something from um, Xbox on their family and friends and family plan coming out in full force instead of just being in the date. It's been in beta testing for like in Ireland and Colombia for the last half of last year. Uh, but yeah, Skull the Hero Slayer announces a free expansion. Check it out. Dark Mirror update. Yo, I would like to play this game. It looks really cool. That's right, human. Get wrecked. Well, and that's just like so. Usually, just saying classic car lover. That looks cool, man. Oh, it was Loop Hero? Oh, cool. Thanks, dude. Nice. Yeah, so classic car lover. What you need to understand too is, yeah, well, like current copyright uh lasts for like 70 years. I think what that kind of is also going to be based on is like the current licensing deal and everything too. So like whatever the licensing deal is for that current piece of media, the copyright is 70 years based off of the initial contract, right? So when that 70 years is up, they're just going to do like another license and it'll be like another 70 years or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like that's the way usually contracts and copyright and stuff like that lasts. Yeah. I'm not fully informed or educated on that stuff, but yeah, dude, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Dude, I love the Loop Hero OST. I actually dude, do I own that? I need to look and see if I own that. I don't think I do. Um there is an OST I own, but it doesn't show up in OSTs on Steam. Actually, it's a weird one. I need to look at which one it was. Yeah, I mean, it's something to look into. Again, I'm not I'm not super educated on that kind of stuff. I just know that that's usually the way things like that work. It's like usually when you sign a contract with some kind of publisher or whatever, you know, whoever owns is going to end up owning the rights to the stuff, and that's where the copyright kind of hits off of, you know, and there'll be a certain specific amount of time that copyright lasts, and then, you know, there'll be some other deal that'll come about whenever that copyright deal is almost finished, where they'll go, okay, time to do a new licensing deal, you know. And whether it be that same company that owns it or somebody new, somebody's going to own the licensing to that content. Somebody's going to want it. And then that copyright will start all over, you know, for whoever owns it moving forward. That's just usually the way that kind of stuff works in the entertainment industry, I think. But it's definitely something still to look into, you know. Skull the Hero Slayer. Yo, Syke, thanks for making sure, man. That's what I thought. I thought it was Loop Hero. I might have that OST. I need to look. Skull the Hero Slayer is about to peer into the Dark Mirror when this unexpected adventure gets a free expansion. NeoWiz has announced that Skull the Hero Slayer is going on a brand new adventure. The team behind this calcium-rich underdog has confirmed that a brand new expansion will arrive on PC via Steam, Epic Game Store, and Xbox PC Game Pass first. Console versions of this crusade against good will get the new update at a later date. Titled The Dark Mirror, this add-on to the 2021 release will get an entirely new adventure to head out into. After this is a misprint. After stepping through the eponymous mirror, Skull will race through a range of new levels, taking on new enemies and avoiding choppy things. Oh, did we mention there's a wizard too? It's probably Harry Potter. With plenty of the familiar roguish elements providing tons of ways to play, players will be able to jump right in and pick a bone with whomever left that shiny death trap lying around. The expansion will also bundle in a new iteration of hard mode. Ooh, nice. Complete with an all-new story and map, players might also notice some changes to the reward system and many of Skull's items. Developer Southpaw Games has also run a balance pass and a ton of bug fixes too, so things will look and feel slicker. For anybody who didn't pick up Skull's inaugural adventure, Skull the Hero Slayer is on sale for a huge 50% off. This lasts until 26 January, about 12 more days, in the NeoWiz Steam sale. If you want to try out a charming pixel art action platformer where you play as an evil minion hitting well above their station, then check out more about Skull on the official website. Here you go if you want something about this. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, you know, yeah, classic car lover. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that's gone on. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, it's on sale right there. You can get actually. Wait, what? What's already in my collection, dude? Oh, Dead Cells. Oh, wild. They've got the Off with Your Head bundle, which is Skull the Hero Slayer and Dead Cells together. That's cool. Loop Hero is a good soundtrack. Yeah, I agree. I love it, dude. Where is my Oh, dude, I played Loop Hero on Epic, didn't I? I played Loop Hero on Epic, man. And I don't think I do have the soundtrack. It's another game. It might be actually Disco Elysium I'm thinking of. Pretty sure. I love its soundtrack though. I do love Loop Hero's soundtrack. It's good. Yeah, it's good stuff. Do recommend, man. Do recommend. Faux show. All right, let's keep going. Uh there's that. Gamers warn against buying Uno for Switch. Major performance issues on the Switch version of Uno caused gamers to warn others away from buying the game for the platform. Who just recently, in the Discord, shout out to our buddy Metal. Metal actually put some nice vinyls in the music section of for video game soundtracks. If you look up around December 29th, there is a link to both the BPM soundtrack on vinyl and the Risk of Rain 2 soundtrack on vinyl. Shout out to our buddy Metal. So those are in the Discord music section. Yeah. For you vinyl lovers. And those links will probably get you on your way to finding some other cool game soundtracks you might like too that are on vinyl. So if you have a record player. The Nintendo Switch version of Uno is currently plagued with the issues following a recent update causing some players to alert others to avoid buying the game in its current state. The video game adaptation of the classic card game has been available on modern consoles for years, including the Switch. Party games have a long history on home consoles, but video game adaptations of classic board and card games have their own history of success. A modern example of success in this genre can be found with a modern version of Uno that is playable on modern consoles, courtesy of Ubisoft. Soon to be Tencent. Sorry, too soon? While it is all very much the same card game that many know and love, these latest versions have some added uniquity, thanks to the integration of other Ubisoft properties. A recent example being last year's AC Valhalla DLC for Uno. Gross. This DLC also came to the Switch version of Uno, a notable release as Assassin's Creed Valhalla did not release on the platform. As has become expected of multi-platform games, the Switch's version of Uno is known for having performance issues not found on other platforms, most of which were not major enough to become a deal breaker for players. That has changed following a recent update that has caused a Switch version to lose some important features. A user who goes by Deceptividiz on the Switch subreddit sent out a PSA warning that the recent update for Uno has broken the game. Issues including problems with matchmaking, players no longer being able to try DLC modes for free, and no longer allowing players to play offline unless they make an Ubisoft Connect account, something that was previously optional. Great, Ubisoft, more issues. This news is particularly troubling right now as the Ultimate Edition of Uno is currently at a 60% discount on the Switch eShop, meaning players buying the game on sale will experience issues with it right out of the gate. The author of the PSA was able to test the Xbox version of Uno, confirm the game still functions properly on that platform following the recent update. It can therefore be inferred that the update was not applied or optimized properly for Switch. Initially, this could be interpreted as another case of a developer struggling with the Switch's comparatively underpowered hardware, as was seen with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's performance issues, but this would be curious considering the simplistic technical nature of Uno. Yeah, exactly. It's not like this is a real intense game here. Third-party releases typically perform worse on Switch, but these issues are usually found in larger gaming genres like open-world action games, not card games that had few issues running on older hardware. Ubisoft appears to have dropped the ball severely and created a difficult situation for Switch owners. It remains to be seen what it will do to alleviate these issues. All right, be careful, man. For those of you that are trying to play some good old Uno on the Switch, or you were thinking about buying the game because it's on sale right now, apparently there are issues, okay? PS5 reportedly locking major feature behind PS Plus. So, behind a paywall, if you will. PS5 is reportedly getting a major feature, but only the Discord. Is that what this is? Not only is this feature going to be locked behind PS Plus, but it's going to be locked behind the most expensive tier on the PS4 and PS5 subscription service. In other words, if you're a PS Plus Essential subscriber or even a PS Plus Extra subscriber, you're out of luck because according to this new report, this new feature is for PS Plus Premium only, which means that only a fraction of subscribers will be able to enjoy it. The report comes the way of Insider Gaming, which reports that soon PS5 games will be streamable on PS5 via cloud streaming, but only via PS Plus Premium. Feature is reportedly in the works under the project codename Cronus. Has been in the works for months. To this end, it should come as no surprise. It's slated to come to PS5 on March 8th of this year. For those that didn't know, PS Plus is divided into 3 tiers. Yes, basic, standard, and what was PS Plus before it was expanded upon earlier this year is called PS Plus Essential. Thank you. And give subscribers a handful of free games every month, in addition to the ability to play multiplayer games, use cloud saves, and other things. The middle tier of the subscription service is PS Plus Extra, which is PS Plus Essential, as well as unlimited access to a vast and evolving library of PS4 and PS5 games. Then there's the PS Plus Premium, which is PS Plus Extra, but the library of PS4 and PS5 games is bolstered with PS3, PS2, PS1, and PSP games. And apparently now, this and the ability to stream PS5 games. All of that said, take everything here with a grain of salt, but that's probably pretty good information there. While the source in question is sterling, it doesn't change the fact that everything here should be taken with a grain of salt. Okay. So we knew cloud gaming was going to be incorporated here with the PS5 very soon. Well played, dude. Yeah, yeah. I mean, as it should. It shouldn't be played any other way, right? I need to get that soundtrack, dude. I actually love that soundtrack. I might have to grab the vinyl of it. Yeah. If they, I'm sure somebody makes the vinyl. But yeah, for those of you that are interested, looks like you're going to need the top tier, so PS Plus Premium for the PS5 cloud streaming incorporation there. Popular Nintendo 64 game reportedly finally being re-released this month. GoldenEye 007, baby. An Xbox leaker that goes by Ecstasis on Twitter claims the game is releasing in late January, or at least that's the implication of a new tweet from the leaker. The tweet in question isn't definitive in this proclamation because it's very vague, but it's unclear what other implication there could be. We knew it was coming, we just didn't know when. There's no mention of it, this being released to the Xbox event that is set to go down on January 25th. You'd assume the two are related as Xbox is bringing the re-release to the market with Rare, one of its developers, with the collaboration of Nintendo, who published the original Nintendo 64 game. Yeah, the re-release was announced back in September, but with no date, right? So, look, this is probably pretty good information. If it is, Xbox Game Pass and Switch Online subscribers will be very happy as the game is launching day one via both subscription services. It will also be available to purchase regularly on Xbox One, Series S, X, and Switch. The original experience has been updated with improved control options, including dual analog stick support, native 16:9 resolution, up to 4K Ultra HD where supported, a constant refresh rate, and a full complement of achievements to unlock. GoldenEye, dude. What a legendary game. Probably getting that at the end of the month, okay? Popular Steam game, free before it disappears forever. A highly rated and popular game on Steam is free for a limited time before it disappears from the digital storefront. It's not often games are delisted, but it happens a few times a year. In an increasingly digital era, this is more problematic than ever. In this specific instance, it means you will never be able to purchase the game again because it was never released via retail. That said, if you did purchase the game, you can still play it after its removal and until its removal. If you haven't purchased it, you can still enjoy it because it's free until it's delisted on January 23rd. The game in question is Friday the 13th Killer Puzzles from Blue Wizard Digital. What? Check it out.
He drowned in Crystal Lake.
Appropriate because yesterday was Friday the 13th, guys.
Jason is back.
That was Jason from hell right there, too. Interesting.
20 years ago.
No, stop, dude. No, don't replay. Stop. Yeah, it's got really good reviews, dude. It's got really good reviews. Interesting. I Miss Voorhees Motherly Love Mega Bundle. That's funny. Here, I'll share this with you guys. Free game. Okay. Just add it to your library.
20 years ago.
That's all you need to do. Add it to your library. It's going to be delisted. But if you have it in your library, you can just always play it, right? So maybe do that. And we'll keep reading this. On Steam, the game boasts a very positive user review rating with 93% with over 5,000 user reviews rating the game positively. The game, which was released in 2018, is available on other platforms, but all of these versions, like the Steam version, are also being delisted on January 23rd. Unlike the Steam version, though, these versions are not free until then. Why is the game being removed? Well, according to a statement released alongside the news, Blue Wizard Digital is unable to renew the licensing involved. Licensing. And with no license, the game can no longer be sold. This is the extent of specificity, provided about the licensing issues. Not enough coffee, I guess, dude. Today, we have to make a sad announcement. We are unable to renew the license for Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle with the licensors and have been required to wind down all future sales of the game later this month, reads the said statement. We have been assured by all platforms players who have already downloaded, purchased the game, and made in-app purchases within the game will continue to have access to the content they paid for in perpetuity. The game will be coming down from the storefronts across all platforms on January 23rd. We apologize for the inconvenience and disappointment this causes. It's truly a sad situation, and all of us at Blue Wizard are absolutely crushed as well. F13 Killer Puzzle is a game we were all so incredibly proud of. Thank you for your support over the years. Stay tuned to bluewizard.com for future updates. Don't forget, we still proudly offer the overwhelmingly positive rated horror puzzle game that started it all, Slayaway Camp. Interesting. Well, there you go, man. Add it to your library. Get it. I didn't put that in chat, did I? Hold on. I'll put the link for this article in there too, just in case you guys want it. There you go. Google adds Bluetooth support to Stadia controller as cloud gaming service enters its final week. Dude, it's like 4 days away from being shut down. 11:59 p.m. January 18th, it shuts down. Google recently announced that the Stadia controller would be getting Bluetooth support. The news arrives just as the cloud gaming platform enters its final week. According to a previous announcement, Stadia servers will officially shut down on January 18th. Following this, customers will no longer be able to avail of the service. However, this may not be the complete end of the service, as the recent news of Bluetooth support being added might just keep its controller alive. We've got Bluetooth news. Next week, we'll be releasing a self-serve tool to enable Bluetooth connections on your Stadia controller. We'll share details here on release. Although the controller already has Bluetooth functionality embedded in its hardware, it was strangely never utilized. The note on the official Stadia controller support page reads, weird. As per recent developments, Google will be providing owners of the controller with a self-serve tool with which they'll be able to enable Bluetooth on their device. At the moment, it's unclear how the procedure will take place, but it looks like there will be a software update that arrives sometime next week. That's all there is to know about the Bluetooth update that the Google device will receive soon. While it remains to be seen how the self-serve tool will work, fans are demanding that it be made open source so that it can be used as a regular gaming controller. Absolutely. I mean, Stadia is shutting down anyways, right? So if the hardware is out there, why would they not make the controller just available to use on basically all gaming devices that could incorporate it, right? But here, if you need this, there's that as well. Again, Stadia is shutting down in like 4 days, man. They are giving refunds for hardware and software purchases. They've collaborated with software developers that have games on their platform, that have the same games on other platforms, to make it fairly intuitive to transfer your save files over to other platforms, so you're not losing a lot of that save stuff, those save states, things like that. So look into it if you own Stadia. Get your refunds, get your save files transferred over, things like that. Okay. Pathfinder publisher Paizo announces new open gaming license in wake of Wizards of the Coast controversy. We believe, as we always have, that open gaming makes games better. This is quite the flex here. They're like, yo, get wrecked D&D. Everybody come grab onto the Pathfinder stuff. Is basically what this is. Paizo, publisher of the Pathfinder RPG series, has announced a new system-neutral open RPG license. The news is in direct response to the recent controversy surrounding D&D owner Wizards of the Coast, which is facing a backlash over planned changes to monetizing third-party content. Paizo promises its open gaming license will be open, perpetual, and irrevocable. Paizo made the announcement in a new blog post directly addressing the decision by Wizards of the Coast to deauthorize its existing OGL. We have been, quote, awaiting further information, hoping that Wizards would realize that for more than 20 years, the OGL has been a mutually beneficial license, absolutely, which should not and cannot be revoked, it reads. While we continue to await an answer from Wizards, we strongly feel that Paizo can no longer delay making our own feelings about the importance of open gaming a part of the public discussion. Paizo owner Lisa Stevens and Paizo president Jim Butler were leaders on the Dungeons & Dragons team at Wizards when the OGL was created. Further, co-founder of Azora law firm Brian Lewis was the attorney at Wizards who came up with the legal framework for the OGL. Paizo uses the same intellectual property law firm. Paizo's new OGL has been created under the legal guidance of Azora law and will be built system agnostic. Quote, we believe, as we always have, open gaming makes games better, improves profitability for all involved, and enriches the community of gamers who participate in this amazing hobby. And so we invite gamers from around the world to join us as we begin the next great chapter of open gaming with the release of a new open, perpetual, and irrevocable open RPG creative license, ORC, reads the blog post. Paizo's Pathfinder series has been adapted into a number of video games, including Pathfinder, Kingmaker, and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Wizards is getting blasted. If you need more on this, here you go. And good on them. Good on Pathfinder and Paizo. Awesome. All right, here's why a bunch of games, including Starfield, just changed release dates on Steam. Starfield, Redfall, Arc 2, and a bunch of other games slated for launch in 2023 are now listed as simply coming soon. Okay. You may have noticed recently that Starfield's release date on Steam recently changed from 2023 vague, but at least within a specific window, to coming soon, which is vague and utterly without specificity. It was, in fact, just one of several games to have their launch dates rejiggered today. Others visible on Steam database include Forspoken. I'm scared of Forspoken. Redfall, Arc 2, and RoboCop Rogue City. All right, Psych. Word, buddy. It's good to see you, dude. Be safe, dude. Be safe. We'll see you in just a bit. The good news is that there's nothing to worry about. Probably nothing anyway. You see, back in October 2022, Valve made a change to the way it handles release dates for upcoming games. Prior to that, release dates on Steam store pages were a wild west. Some games would list an exact date. Others would have something more ballpark, a month, a year, maybe. And still others would drop in joke text like, when it's done. Our current hodgepodge of coming soon displays leaves a lot to be desired, Valve wrote at the time. Some information can be missing or incomplete. Worst of all, the custom text field we use to provide has no localization support, which creates a confusing and inconsistent experience. For players across the globe, one-off jokes or references don't translate, and date descriptions vary from place to place. For instance, taking the string 5/8/2023, is that May 8th or August 5th? Depends on what country you live in. Absolutely. That's usually why whenever I do dates for my game playthroughs and stuff like that I list on either Twitch or YouTube, I will do an abbreviated month and the actual day. So it'll be like Jan 14 Jan 2023. So there's no confusion, right? To address those shortcomings, Valve introduced 5 options developers could select from and switch between, with a localized and regionally familiar presentation for each. Exact date, month and year, quarter of the calendar year, the year, no date at all, coming soon. To handle how those dates appear in a list of upcoming games, non-specific launch targets are listed at the last possible date in their time range. So, for instance, if your game is slated for quarter 1 of 2023, it will be sorted as though the release date is March 31st. Which is also the very last date of the calendar or the fiscal year for gaming industry, by the way. If it's simply 2023, Steam will treat it as though the release date is December 31st. Yo, random mode time. Random mode time, baby. Have we even done one today? I don't think so. But we need a winner. Oh! If it's simply 2023, Steam will treat it as though the release date is December 31st. Essentially, if it's an automated placeholder date, and if there's no date at all, it'll appear after all other games that do have a specific date or launch date. The current expectation is that Starfield will be out sometime in the first half of the year, but since the date on Steam was listed as 2023, it would be treated as though the launch date was December 31st. Reasonable to think that Bethesda would not want that, but it also wouldn't want to publish a date publicly too early, thus the no date option. Yeah. Another theory that's a bit of a stretch is that Valve warned in the October 2022 update that games with release dates that don't fit the new standards will be automatically set to coming soon. Yeah, it's probably the former rather than the latter, though. Whatever the case may be, other games have previously made similar changes, presumably to accommodate Steam's new release date policy. Nightingale, for instance, switches listed launch target from coming in first half 2023. Add to your wish list to coming soon on December 8th. I've reached out to Bethesda and Steam to ask about the changes and will update if I receive a reply. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Nothing's really changed on the front of... That's a big old weird empty space ahead of the article. Last article I have for the news today. All right. And then we'll move on to our gaming stuff. Day 34 of Breath of the Wild. One more side quest, and then Trials, baby. And then in-game. I really think the 16th is Ganon Day. So plan on that. But here we go. If you have anything else that we should talk about for video gaming news that I'm not aware of, we haven't talked about already today or in past video gaming news segments, let me know. We'll address it before we move on to the gaming stuff, okay? Justin Roiland's High on Life studio was previously sued for sexual harassment. Squanch Games was sued for sexual harassment back in 2018 and eventually settled. A Former employees sued Justin Roiland, Squanch Games, maker of the recent Xbox Game Pass hit High on Life, back in 2018 over alleged sexual harassment, discrimination, and wrongful termination. According to court documents, the studio denied the claims but later settled. And the lawsuit, while old, raises questions about the work culture at Squanch Games, especially after co-founder Roiland was recently revealed to be facing felony domestic abuse charges from 2020. Wow. The lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court in August 2018 on behalf of former Squanch Games designer Sarah Dukakis, and alleges she was sexually harassed and belittled by then technical director Jeff Dixon. It further alleges that despite numerous complaints to her managers, including co-founder and then executive officer Tanya Watson, the behavior was never addressed. That sucks. Instead, the lawsuit claims Dukakis was fired for poor performance and then pressured by Watson into signing a liability release as part of her severance package. Yikers. Dukakis and Watson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Dixon referred Kotaku to Squanch Games for comment. Quote, Squanch Games is committed to creating an inclusive and supportive work environment for our team, a spokesperson for Squanch Games told Kotaku in an emailed statement. Quote, we don't publicly disclose personal matters. We stand by the decision we made in 2017 not to reveal the confidential information as it relates to this case. Dude, nice. You got lol. I know. Dude, I was thinking the same thing, man. I was thinking the same thing, dude. It's kind of like the same thing as like the Bowser guy getting sued by Nintendo for creating emulation hardware or what software or whatever. It's like, dude, really? The guy's last name was Bowser? Like, are you kidding me? You really can't make that up, dude. Like, it's wild, dude. But yeah, like, same thing there. According to the lawsuit, Dixon would force unwanted hugs on Dukakis, question her intelligence and competence, and once told her a t-shirt she wore stating the future is female made him sad. The lawsuit also... Jesus, dude. Who are these people, man? But, at the same time, is like... Look, dude. Microsoft. Yeah, dude. Look, I mean, come on, dude. So, first of all, wore a t-shirt to work that said the future is female. That is also a sexist statement on a piece of clothing that is just asking for people to comment back with, some other sexist comment. Like, why does it need to even be that way? Can't everybody just be cool with who everybody... Like, come on, dude. Like, God dang, man. It's so just dark, dude. Like, that this is where people go all the time. Like, chat, I just want you to know, I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, or if you don't even identify as either one, dude. I don't care. It doesn't. I don't care, dude. It literally doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Whatever. Why is it? Why is this the world we live in, dude? The lawsuit also states that Dukakis told her managers about the problems, even going so far as to request. I mean, this is really what's wild to me, though. Like, you wore a shirt to work that, like, is really just asking I mean, this is basically telling everybody that you want the world to be a generally female world or whatever, right? Isn't that also like a sexist play? Or am I just seeing this wrong? You know what I mean? I'm not belittling what he said. He said what he said was terrible too, but it's like I don't know, dude. Lawsuit also states that Dukakis told her managers about the problems, even goes so far as to request one of them, Eric Meyer, currently Squanch Games design director, uh, present her game development ideas to Dixon instead so they would be taken seriously. Lawsuit also alleges that another manager, Anthony Bosco, told Watson about the problems, but that she just sighed in response. Things allegedly didn't go any better when Dukakis spoke to Watson directly, the lawsuit reads. On August 11, 2017, plaintiff spoke to Watson and expressed her issues with Mr. Dixon, including the unwanted touching and how Dixon would treat plaintiff differently because she was female. In response, Watson told plaintiff that's just how this generation of guys are, and instructed plaintiff to sit quietly, take notes, and to smile whenever the males, including Dixon, were speaking. What? Plaintiff explicitly told Watson that plaintiff should not have to act differently as a woman to get heard. Yeah? Meyer and Bosco did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Lawsuit goes on to allege that despite receiving positive performance feedback from her managers, including Watson in August, that she was put on a performance improvement plan the following month. During a crunch period that followed, the lawsuit says she worked 12-hour days while also pushing back on certain content being designed for the game that allegedly included scenes analogous to rape and remarks denigrating women. I mean, I'm not surprised with the kind of content they're working on, though. While the lawsuit doesn't specify the project was, a former employee told Kotaku the project in question was Squanch Games' 2019 action platformer Trover Saves the Universe. Dukakis was finally fired November 1st over performance issues. The lawsuit alleges it was actually in retaliation for her complaints. It even claims that Watson pressured Dukakis into signing a release of all claims against the studio in order to receive her final paycheck and severance package. While Squanch Games' court filings in the case deny all the allegations against it, two sides eventually settled in September 2019. It's unclear what the terms of that settlement were. Dixon left the studio shortly after Dukakis was fired, and Watson left in February 2021. While Roiland is not mentioned at all in the lawsuit, he has been CEO of Squanch Games since co-founding the studio with Watson in 2016. Yesterday, as first reported by NBC News, it was revealed that Roiland was facing two charges of felony domestic abuse from January 2020, one for domestic battery and another for false imprisonment. He pleaded not guilty to both, but there is currently no trial date. Meanwhile, Highland Life Squanch Games' latest release was reportedly Xbox's biggest Game Pass launch of 2022. Like the hit animated show Roiland co-created, Rick and Morty, the game has been divisive over its gross humor and drawn-out antics. Which some love, but others have found incredibly grating. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody. There's a lot of funny stuff to me in there. But, look, the thing that's crazy about these situations is, like, I've worked in a lot of different situations, and I have worked with individuals, and I've had individuals that worked for me that were always trying to create drama. And I always get taken back to that kind of situation. It's really hard to tell sometimes when you read about these kinds of situations. Like, was this legitimately, is all of this truth, you know, and how much of this is somebody doing their very best to create a chaotic, drama-filled situation in the workplace. And I am not demeaning what we have read here as far as the things that apparently were told and said to this individual. That's a lot of terrible stuff. But there's no room for that in the workplace. Don't get me wrong. But I have absolutely worked with individuals that did their very best to create situations that were not what they were, if you understand what I'm saying. And I just often wonder, like, how much of these that we read about are that, and how much of it is actually truth about what we're finding out. So if what we're reading here is legitimately truth, and dude, that's terrible and it sucks, and I feel bad for that individual. But I mean, there are an amount of people in the world that like drama. They want to create drama. They try to instigate these kinds of situations. I'm not trying to say that the individual in question here, or that this article, Dukakis, I think, yeah, is that type of individual. I've just experienced it to an extent in workplaces, and whenever I read these types of articles, I'm just wondering, like, how much of it is like one side or the other's actual fault for instigating it, and then I don't know, man. It's so hard to tell with the information that we get in these situations. But nonetheless, how much of this we've read is terrible and gross. But dude, wearing, like, I feel like I don't feel wrong in my statement here about, like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll be done, dude. Let's go play some games. Jesus, the world we live in, dude. So wild. Can't we just get along, man? Can't we just There's just too much discrimination and hate on one another. It's just absolutely wild, man. So stupid. God dang. Hey, I love you guys. Has anybody told you that lately? Let's move on. That's it. Them's the breaks, dude. That's the news. Uh let's actually just go play some games and have a good day. How about that? Jesus. The world we live in, man. Craziness. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of what we do. Gaming news has been long here lately. It's been a lot of stuff. We've been having a lot of good discussions, which is cool with me, dude. I like talking with you guys, discussing different things about the news, and not that necessarily a lot of what the discussion today was about news, but hopefully we were able to help out one of our community members a little bit with moving forward with some of their future plans and things, a little bit, at least guide and help a little bit. I don't know. Hopefully, anyways. You guys rock, dude. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's having a great time. I hope you have a great weekend. We're gonna move on to day 34 of our Breath of the Wild playthrough. We've got one side quest left that we're gonna take care of, and then we're gonna be doing some trial stuff, man, before we move on to Ganon. Ganon's probably gonna be the 16th. Yeah. So I think Monday is going to be our play at endgame. And then Tuesday will be our entry into playing the forest. So just so everybody knows, that's kind of the plan for now. That's what we're looking to do. And, come hang out. Come be a part of it. And that's where we're headed right now. So on that note, if anybody's checking out this content as a VOD on YouTube later, or as a highlight here on the Twitch channel, you're enjoying the video gaming news segment, see what you can do about coming and hanging out with myself, the rest of these beautiful, amazing people that are part of this community. Whenever we go live at 6 a.m. CST every single day, we start all of our streams off with video gaming news before we go play games for the rest of the day, okay? Other than that, you guys just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we will catch, or great rest of your Saturday anyways. And we'll catch everybody tomorrow for January 15th edition of Video Gaming News, and what will be day 35 of Breath of the Wild. All right?